I don't think I have a bank account full of those things, so I can just throw them out all over the place. Compliments and how are you? Second, today I will gratefully receive all the gifts that life has to offer me. I will receive the gifts of nature, sunlight, the sound of birds singing, or spring showers, or the first snow of winter. I will also be open to receiving from others, whether it be in the form of a material gift, money, a compliment, or a prayer. And that can be the hard part sometimes. Now, for me, I won't say my regular job, because my job isn't regular at all. I'm going different places and seeing different people and helping different students. And it gives me a lot of joy to see them be successful. And sometimes that's not an easy thing to do. I have a young man I'm working with right now. I worked with him at the independent study last year, and math is his big challenge. He is horrible at math. So I worked with him last year, got him through algebra. Great. This year, he chose a different life. He chose a life at the main high school. And much to the dismay of his grandmother, who's his guardian, who did not want him to go there, that knew his success would lie at the independent study school, he just said, I need friends. I need people to talk to. Here he was, this one person in this little bubble that had a limited amount of contact. So, I have very rarely worked with students at the high school, at the main high school. But guess what I got this year? I got that card to go work with this young man. Because it was through the teacher that I worked with that sold the grandmother that he should be able to go do this. And she, in the beginning, reluctantly said yes. So, it's been a semester. Hasn't been his most successful semester, but I can say this. I checked the grade book this morning, and he did pass the math class that he's in. It was like, I said, all we need is a D. All we need is a D. It's a passing grade. You'll get credit for the class, and that's all we need, or all you need. But that's our goal. And by golly, at the very, very, very end of the semester, he had a D minus. And I was like, hallelujah, a D minus. Woo! So when it came time for the final, and I haven't done this very often, but I was talking with some of the other paraeducators at the high school, and they said, well, don't you think it would be a good idea if you just took Michael and took him in a different room and had him by himself, and then nobody could distract him, and he could concentrate, and then you could be there for him. And that's what I was thinking, but I wasn't sure how much I should say, because this is unfamiliar territory. But they were like, oh no, you got to do that. So I did that with him. And I don't know who was more stressed out, or who felt more tired at the end of that, because it took almost every bit of the 2 hours to get through those 50 problems. And it happened to be consumer math. So a lot of different applications there. But I just said, okay, I made sure, because on his IEP he could have a calculator, so I made sure I had the big button calculator so that I wouldn't push the wrong button, so he'd get them all right. But he was so nervous that when he'd hit those buttons, he would hit the, I don't know if you've used a calculator an awful lot, if you get to the equal sign, and if you press it again, it'll square that number automatically. So instead of having a reasonable number, I'd look down and I'd see like 11,286. And we're looking for something smaller than 1. So I know something went wrong here. I said, hey, I think you need to try this again. But it was such a relief to see, oh man, just a good solid D. Now, I told him next semester we're going to do this differently, and it won't be so stressful. But it's just amazing that he's so willing to allow me to work with him. And there are some students that aren't like that. Some students are very resistant, and they'll just barely let you help them enough to get them by. But he's a real joy in my life. So now, number 3, I will make a commitment to keep wealth circulating in my life by giving and receiving life's most precious gifts. The gift of caring, affection, appreciation, and love. Each time I meet someone, I will silently wish them happiness, joy, and laughter. So we don't even need to verbally say it, because sometimes, you know, you ever walked into a room and you can just feel the energy is just, it's just negative all the way around. And it's like, you know, you don't want to go in like, oh, hi, you know, how's everybody doing? And they're like, what's wrong with you? Can't you tell there's something going on here? So those are situations where that works really well. You can walk in and just silently bless the room and know that at some point in time the energy in that room is going to change and that everything will be okay. So balance. So we need to really, really, really work on and try to find that balance. Now that's not always easy to do. So how do we do that? Well, for everybody it's a little different, but I know for starters, coming to the PLC and you know, getting involved in classes and listening to the different speakers and taking those ideas, checking out the lending library or finding a book in the bookstore and buying it and taking it home. It's studying, it's learning about it, it's learning to relax and let it go, so that you can receive what is going to come your way. And at some point, we will receive the greatest gift of all, whatever that is. So I took a trip to Carmel, and what does that have to do with anything? But I went into this bookstore that's called The Pilgrim's Way. And they just have all these really interesting types of books. And I picked this book up there. And what this is, they're parallel sayings that are similar, things that Jesus said, things that Buddha said, things that Krishna said, and things that Lao Tzu said. So I went, oh, I've got to have this. Just because when I'm down in Fresno, they do readings and they use a lot of different sources, and I thought, this is just too good. I can't pass this up. So I'm going to share today with you in the spirit of getting to know ourselves, so that we're really comfortable with who we are and being able to accept and being able to give gifts. I've been opening this book up every day trying to find, you know how it's usually said, just open it up and it'll speak to you. Well, I opened it up and it didn't speak to me. And I opened it up and it didn't speak to me. And I opened it up and it didn't speak to me. And then this morning I opened up and it spoke to me. So, yay! Yay for today! So, this is a statement from Jesus. He says, become aware of me within you. Focus your attention on that I may become manifest in you. Krishna. Think on me in the serenity of your heart. Control your mind and become fearless. Have me as your supreme goal. And the Buddha. With earnest meditation, purity of mind, and compassionate acts of kindness, you will become an island of serenity, even which the greatest of floods cannot sweep away. And finally, from Lot, wise are they who center their hearts on the inner essence of things and not on outer appearances. And with that, say with me, and so